Hi, my name is Alan Singer. I'm a former New York City high school teacher and a social studies educator and historian at Hofstra University on Long Island. I'm also the co-author of a new book published by Routledge, Supporting Civic Education with Student Activism, Citizens for a Democratic Society. I've been a member of the New Jersey Council for the Social Studies for almost 2 decades, and I was the former editor of the State Social Studies Journal. I called this video From Bangkok to Bergen County, Supporting Student Activism. In Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Hogwarts students organized Dumbledore's army to prepare themselves to do battle with the evil forces of Voldemort. A new division of Dumbledore's army has emerged in Thailand as youthful protesters emulating Harry Potter and his friends, challenge restrictions on young people and anti-democratic policies imposed by the nation's military dictators. The Prime Minister of Thailand is a former head of their army who led a 2014 military coup. The military wrote the most recent Thailand constitution to ensure their control over the country even when there are elections. The government tries to maintain control by instilling obedience in young people. Students are required to pledge to respect discipline and filial piety, which includes loyalty to the country's rulers. In Thai schools, the penalty for minor infractions, like wearing the wrong color socks, is often caning, beating with a bamboo strip. During some school ceremonies, students are forced to prostrate themselves before teachers. Thai student protests began with school-based issues, challenging rules that require boys to wear crew cuts and girls to crop their hair at earlobe length and forbid perms and dyed hair. This Thailand student movement eventually expanded to challenge the disappearance of Thai dissidents, demand that the military and its allies withdraw from politics and government, and called for respect for human rights. At rallies in the Thai capital Bangkok, youthful protesters dressed as Harry Potter characters waved magic wands. They also raised their hand and the three-fingered salute of defiance from the book and movie series Hunger Games, a gesture forbidden by the Thai military junta. New Jersey has its own recent history of student activism. In April 2010, New Jersey high school students were at the forefront of the battle against education budget cuts. Thousands of students signed up to walk out on a Facebook site promoting the protests. The largest rally was in Newark, where approximately 2,000 high school students from 7 schools marched on City Hall. They held signs and chanted, "Save our schools." At Columbia High School in Maplewood, students marched around the building with signs declaring, "We are the future. We love our teachers." In West Orange, students rallied on the football stands. At Montclair High School, half of the school's 2,000 students gathered outside the building chanting, "No more budget cuts." Kids Against Pollution is a not-for-profit youth group originally established in 1987 by a 5th grade teacher and his students from Tennekill Middle School in Bergen County. The middle school students successfully campaigned to ban the use of polystyrene foam food packaging in district schools. According to New Jersey Student Learning Standards for Social Studies, all students are expected to acquire the skills needed to be active, informed citizens who value diversity and promote cultural understanding by working collaboratively to address the challenges that are inherent in living in an interconnected world. The learning standards define the quality of active citizenship as making informed and reasoned decisions and accept responsibility for the consequences of action and inaction, and I quote, taking actions that result in a more just and equitable society. Students are expected to act based on what they learn, according to New Jersey learning standards. I anticipate a continuing wave of youth protest in the United States as the country remains unprepared to address coronavirus concerns, Black Lives Matter rallies continue, climate change worries escalate, and President Trump incites unrest with outrageous attacks on his opponents and threats to void the 2020 election results, placing American democracy at risk. New Jersey social studies teachers will have to make difficult decisions. Will we focus less on academic explanations of how the Electoral College works, and in the name of balance, present Donald Trump's false statements and angry tweets as legitimate political commentary? Or will teachers encourage critical examination of Donald Trump's record and claims and encourage student activism as a measure of their understanding of civic responsibility as demanded in the New Jersey Student Learning Standards for Social Studies? If Donald Trump loses in November and then challenges the result of the election as fake news, will social studies teachers in our lessons and in the streets join students as members of Dumbledore's army in defense of democracy in the United States? In New York City, in order to have credibility with young people, an old guy like me has to be able to rap. Kids know me as the rapper Reese's Pieces. They call me Reese's Pieces because I'm better than Eminem. This is my get off the couch and become an activist rap. Climate catastrophe, George Floyd memory. Parkland students died. We must always ask why. COVID makes us sit at home, makes it hard for us to roam, but never forget the biome. That's why I wrote this poem. School is the place to learn so you can make the world churn. Youth activism is the key. Let's all save democracy. Thank you. This is Alan Singer, and this is Reese's Pieces.